Stay classy, Golden Eagles. So this is going to be lesson 4 this week of our functional text for reading. If you guys didn't remember, you're going to need to have 2 to 5 functional texts, a minimum of 2. There's going to be an activity that goes along with this. So if you don't have those right now in front of you, go ahead and hit pause. Go grab 2 functional texts, bring them back. Again, don't take mom and dad's workbook. They may need it right now or they may need it in the future. If it's yours, obviously you can use it, but if it's someone else's, make sure you ask first. But you're going to need 2 functional texts for your activity today. All right, guys, so one of the things that I want you guys to do today is you have your 2 functional texts. What I want you to do is 2 to 5. You can do this up to 5, but you need a minimum of 2. I want you to be looking over your functional text, and here's what I want you to be focusing on. You're going to share and discuss with your functional text. You're actually going to write it. You're going to type it up for Mr. Holt and myself, and we'll look over them and see how it goes, okay? So here's the thing that I want you to be talking about, and then I want you to be writing about in complete sentences. So I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing 3 complete sentences for each functional text. And I'm requiring that you have 2 functional texts that go along with this, okay? So that's 6 total sentences. Capitalization, proper punctuation. You guys all learned about verbs, nouns. We expect you to have good sentence structure because we've been teaching that, okay? So here are the 3 questions, and I'll have it in the Google Doc, the 3 questions. I'll have it in the Google Doc so you can type your answers in, but I'll read them to you right now. Questions about your functional text. Here's question number 1. What information does your functional text give you? Now, here's an example of the one from yesterday, our City of Lawrence street map. And here's a sentence that I could write because I have it in front of me. The City of Lawrence street map gives you location information for streets, buildings, and other things and parks within the city of Lawrence. Okay? So, second question. So that was a complete sentence to the first question. The second sentence. What makes the functional text easy for readers to understand and use? Well, the City of Lawrence street maps has letters and numbers to use as a coordinate grid to find locations. It also has an index with alphabetical lists of locations and their coordinates so I can find them more easily. That's a good sentence to have for question number 2. And finally, the last one, what do I find most interesting about this? I find most interesting about the City of Lawrence, and this is my answer, I find the most interesting thing I find about the City of Lawrence street map is the index. I really like how it's organized, and it's quite easy to find anything from Dayton Street all the way to the Liberty Boulevard. Okay, you see how I kind of gave an example of that? And that's what Mr. Holt and I are looking for you guys to do with your 2 functional texts that you find. Complete sentences. If you want to go over more, like a couple of my answers probably would have been better as 2 sentences, you certainly can. But we are expecting you guys to be following along, doing your best, and using capitalization, punctuation, making complete sentences. We're not asking for a whole big thing. This is 6 sentences at a minimum. And that's just not something that we feel is unreasonable, right? You guys are getting older, you guys are getting closer to 5th grade, and that's something that all teachers in 5th grade and your teachers in the future are expecting out of you. So remember, you're going to need 2 functional texts. You're going to answer the 3 questions for each one of those functional texts, not just 1 question for one, 3 questions for each of those 2 functional texts, and come up with 6 questions. The Google Doc that's going to be shared with you, and I'll title it, it'll be below this video, and I'll make sure to have that, and that is where, in the questions that I just told you, I will put those questions in that Google Doc so it'll be easier so you don't have to kind of click back and forth, okay? If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments, and Mr. Holt and I will get to you guys really quick. When you're done with this activity, make sure you turn in the Google Doc, okay? Mr. Holt and I are going through and looking at these, and we are using these to help us better understand what you're getting, what you're not getting, and what we can do better this year and in the future. As always, stay classy, Golden Eagles. Don't forget to hit submit.